Hey, what's going on? This is Ed Fletcher, and we are live at Southside Park in Sacramento, California, where a brown and black protest is about to begin.
Hear me out there? How you doing?
They're going to march from here to...
And allies, ¿cómo estamos? Pueblo, gente de color, indígena.
We're going to march from here to Cesar Chavez. I'll turn the camera around and we'll get this going.
¿Se puede o no se puede? Sí se puede. No los escucho. ¿Se puede o no se puede? Sí se puede. It's beautiful to see the unity out here. It's beautiful to see Sacramento stand up and win so many small victories, right? It was because we showed up for each other that we got the National Guards to leave our city. No more war on people, on poverty. No more war on black lives. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. So we are organized. There are many organizations that help put this event on. We are out here not just this moment, but always trying to hold those accountable and also create these safe spaces for our community to come and share information. We learn from you guys. We're going to have some great speakers. Right now, we want to make an announcement. You know, there's a lot of infiltration going on, right? So if you see something that is suspicious, there is a group of security. You will see people who are up here. We have the brown berets. Please, if you guys can come up so they can identify. And there's others that are part of our security team. So if you see anything that is mad sus, please say something. We're here to keep everybody safe. We're here to have a peaceful protest and let our rightfully just anger, let it all out today, and also rebuild joy and heal our communities. So we're going to be starting with Danzantes blessing the space. If you guys could just give us a few more minutes, and we will begin the program. Thank you.
If you're just joining us, this is the voice of Ed Fletcher, independent journalist here in Sacramento, California. We're at Southside Park in Sacramento. This is a brown and black protest that is gathering, and we'll head to Cesar Chavez. What started as a mostly black protest quickly turned into a very multicultural protest with different groups of allies and supporters staging separate protests that mostly congregate at the same place, at least in Sacramento. But we've also seen protests in Granite Bay, Lincoln, Auburn, and all kind of places where you wouldn't expect to see people rallying to this cause. But I think what we're seeing is a younger generation that has grown up believing in equality, and perhaps each generation has gotten a little bit better than the last, and maybe this is the generation that will finally make the change that we've been talking about, and allow this cultural shift to take place. I've been at protests before. I went to the Million Man March in Washington, D.C., and felt nothing like this. When we came back, we had to try to demand change, but here we're seeing change happening on a scale that I've never seen before. There's legislation or discussion in New York about changing police tactic rules. There is conversations happening here in California. The city of Sacramento and among other places have already moved to ban the chaotic chokehold. So things are moving in the right direction, and we're starting to see some change. It's also leading to a lot of conversations that needed to have happened, and I'm glad to see those happening now. What started as a one-day thing has turned into many days, and the crowds just keep getting larger and larger. I was out there Saturday morning, and I think the estimate came back at 15,000 in that crowd for the NAACP-led protest that went to Cesar Chavez. I had never seen a march like that in Sacramento before. It was near impossible to see the entire crowd at any given time. So the drone shots, I think, will be interesting to see what that looks like. But again, what started out as a mostly black thing has grown as other cultures, nationalities, groups of people have added their voice to this chorus, demanding change, both in policy and in our hearts. And we asking America to deal with this systemic racism that's been around for a while. Turn the camera around so you can check out the crowd here. This is the always colorful Southside Park. They brought some extra murals that are sitting up there on stage. One thing I want to say is that the art of this protest has gotten better and better as the days have gone on. In the beginning, it was just really hastily painted signs, and now there's handouts, there's flyers, there's gifts, there's large banners, and we've seen businesses that are also painting their buildings with art that talks about Black Lives Matter and that are speaking to this cause. This protest should be going here any minute now. They did do an interruption, and I see the MC moving back to the stage here. If you're watching this from afar, please check in. Tell me where you're watching from. A lot of some new names I don't recognize on the feed there. Looks like they're clearing the stage there of the last obstructions, and I think it's gonna...
How's everybody feeling out there? Are we ready to stand in solidarity for our Black communities tonight? And every day? From here on out? Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you so much for coming out here. Thank you, Theos and your grandpas, your grandmas, your abuelas. We're standing here in solidarity for our Black communities because we need to show out. We need to support our people. These are our people. We are both experiencing genocide. We need to be here to support and love one another. Everybody give a round of applause to DJ Money for coming out and showing out. Start with our danzantes. I think they're getting set up for us today. You guys ready? Go ahead.
So we're going to begin the danzantes by honoring the Miwok, Patwin, and Nishinan people, who are the original caretakers of this land. We honor their ancestors, their present leaders, and the emerging youth that will be taking forward this movement along with Black Lives.
so important and that it's so worldwide right now. It's, you know, waking people up all over, people who've never had anything, you know, any kind of activism, any kind of experience prejudice themselves. They're seeing it and they're witnessing it firsthand. And it's something that we've always been saying is going on, but now people are seeing it and now people are reacting to it and now people are demanding change. So we want to thank you guys for allowing us to share on this day and explain just a real quick explanation. What we're going to do right now is every time we dance, this is how we pray, this is how we honor our ancestors and our traditions. And so what we do when we start is we acknowledge all the directions. We acknowledge our men and their strength. We acknowledge the strength of a mother and the love of a mother. We acknowledge our children and our elders. We acknowledge Mother Earth and Father Sky, and then we acknowledge ourselves and how we interact with all of those things. So what we're going to do right now is you're going to see the dancers, they're going to face different directions. So if you're comfortable with it, or if you'd like to join us, please face those directions as we acknowledge those different elements of life. Also, I know we get a lot of questions about the smoke, and the smoke is, what it is it's a resin from a tree in Mexico called copal. And in our tradition, so what we're doing with that is when we pray, and we believe that that smoke helps carry out prayers to the Creator. So right now we're going to ask that everybody join together in prayer, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your way of praying is right now, that you think good thoughts, that you ask for comfort for the families of the victims of police brutality, that you ask for change, for changes in the hearts of the people who make these decisions that allow this stuff to continue. And we ask that you pray and speak to whoever you acknowledge. That our children, that are these little ones, don't grow up in the same world, and that they do see change within their lifetime.
hearts going there. Thank you for watching. after their solo. They said the name of the performers once. I hope they'll say it again before they finish. We're in Sacramento, California for a brown and black protest happening now. Meeting here at the Southside Park and then heading to Cesar Chavez.
So, vamos a hablar de inglés a español, de español a inglés, Spanglish. We're going to talk all right here, okay? We're going to be one. We're going to move as one. We're going to show respect. We're going to show unity. We're going to show love, not just to us, but to Mother Earth today. Again, if you see anything that is alarming, please walk up to one of us that are speaking. We have brown berets as well. We have security. We are organized people autonomously. There's no one leader in the movement. This is our revolution. Para los jóvenes, and we won't be translating, so it takes too long, and we want to get this us in the streets marching. So we're going to talk in Spanish and talk in English, but we will not be translating for ourselves. Para los jóvenes que trajeron a todos sus padres, los tíos, las tías, los abuelos, las hermanas, las comadres. Es una de las primeras marchas donde vemos más gente de pueblo indígena aquí. Y muchas gracias por resistir, muchas gracias por organizar, muchas gracias por educar a sus padres de lo que está pasando ahorita con Black Lives Matter. Es un honor estar aquí con ustedes. Vamos a empezar el programa. Otra vez un aplauso a los padres de familias que vinieron, que están cambiando la conciencia día tras día. Sí, ya pueden acercarse un poco más. We could all come a little closer now that the space has been blessed.
And I just want to give an announcement to the danzantes and the elders that there's a table on my left-hand side over here that has food ready for you. For the danzantes and the elders, we do have food that's on the left-hand side. You'll see a group over there waving their hands, maybe. And then everybody else, as soon as they're done, you can go ahead and take the rest of what is available.
And as we move through the program, if you see people that need water, food, our duty is to take care of each other. So if you have not met someone new today, you haven't built community. So please build community. Meet your siblings. We are here to support each other, to uplift each other. Show me what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. And we couldn't do this without all of you here today, bringing water, bringing food, bringing signs, bringing yourselves. Because this is what community does. We look after each other. We want to give a shout out to all the organizations that came out to sponsor this event. The Decolonization Project.
I'm going to give this to the
Sacramento. Labor Council of Latin American Advancement Sacramento. Beach House presents. Salt Collective. San Juan Cutie. Cafe. Clothing and food for everyone. Sacramento Homeless Union. Salt Collective again because they're really about community. All right, National Warriors Guild Sacramento. SCLU USWW Sacramento. The Godmothers of NorCal, Las Madrinas. Los Rios College Federation of Teachers. Decarcerate Sacramento. Familia Trans Queer Liberation Movement. Care Sacramento. Proud Parade de Sacamazlan. Estudiante Sacramento. American Indian Movement Southern California Chapter. We have community all the way from thank you for being out here today. We're going to get the program started, Mariana. Thanks. Wow. All right, we're going to begin our program with the wonderful Ebony Harper. She is a Black trans woman fighting for Black trans lives. Please give it up for Ebony.
Hello, everyone. I want to start off with a couple of chants, you know, because I guess I'm an activist. All right, Black lives, Black lives, Black lives, Black trans lives, Brown trans lives, Brown lives, Brown lives. That's right, Black and Brown lives matter. There's a lot of people who don't want to see us together. But we are family. Our liberations are intertwined, Black and brown.
Very much.
The incarceration system has so many Black men incarcerated, so many brown men incarcerated. And right now, in these ICE camps, in these ICE facilities, our brown siblings are suffering. And so as Black people, I'm talking to my Black folks out in the audience, it is our duty to fight for our brown siblings' freedom. It is our duty to stand with our brown siblings. You know, this government wants to keep us divided. But there's a chant in brown activist communities saying the people united can never be divided. And so I want y'all to chant with me again. The people united can never be divided.
The people united can never be divided.
That was weak. Come on. The people united can never be divided.
The people united can never be divided.
That's what I'm talking about. That sounds like Black and brown unity right there. So, I grew up in Los Angeles, California. In the 80s and in the 90s. And so I grew up hybrid culture. My mom told me a story when I was 5 years old. She couldn't find me. So she looked everywhere. And right next door, there was some type of party going on. She heard some mariachis going on. And she found her, at the time, I was her little boy, honey. She found her little boy dancing with a grown woman to mariachis, honey. So I grew up hybrid culture in LA. Some of my first words were Spanish, hola. True. And so I have a heart for my Latinx family, my brown family. And I'm gonna fight for you. And we gotta come together. We need some healing. We need more Black and brown healing spaces. There's pain in between our communities. Unlike America, we can't just wash away the pain and keep going. We gotta handle the pain. We gotta talk about it. We gotta heal. We gotta love each other because we need to unite. We got a colonizer, let's call it what it is. Colonizer, that's a mutual enemy, and it is the enemy. And we got these folks who want to uphold colonialism in America, and they're smart about what they're doing. They stockpile weapons to hold on to their dream. So I want to challenge y'all. We ain't out here just to march. We are out here to form community, to organize, and to get smart about what we're doing. So I know I'm saying we got to get weapons too. That's right, because shit gonna be real. shit is gonna be real. There's security around here. And a lot of them is watching out for white nationalists. These white nationalists want to hold on to an America that is racist, America that is for them, and we have to be intentional about conquering all matters of racism. So that means being prepared. That means educating yourself. That means reading. That means coming to as many protests and supporting the local activists with money, with resources, with if you have an occupation of a therapist, with creating healing spaces for us as activists, because we get burnt out, we get tired, and forming community. And I just want to honor my sister here. She drove down here from Woodland, Miss Genesette Gutierrez. I don't know if you know who she is, honey. She's a badass. And together, I stand with her as a black trans woman, my Latinx trans sister. We're together and we're fighting this thing. And I love you guys. And I thank you for this opportunity to speak. God bless you. And I want one last chant. It is our duty, repeat after me. It is our duty, to fight for our freedom. It is our duty, to win. We must love and support one another. It is our duty, to fight for our freedom. It is our duty, to win. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Ashe.
Give it up for my sister, Ebony! Now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Genesette Gutierrez. She is a trans Latina fighting for undocumented trans lives and also for the rights of undocumented people. Thank you, Genesette.
Thank you, Mariana. Can we give it up for Ebony one more time? I love you right back, sister. And yes, we are in this together. Thank you so much for the invitation, everyone. My name is Genesette Gutierrez. I'm a community organizer at Familia Trans Queer Liberation Movement. And I'm here just to share some words of support for the movement of Black Lives Matter. And I want to tell all of you very loud and clear that police will never be on our side. And I will tell you why they will never be on our side. Because a year ago, a name unfamiliar to many of you, Lady Polanco, an Afro-Latina woman, was murdered in jail in New Jersey at Rikers. Also, Tony McDade, a black trans man, another name you're unfamiliar with, was murdered in Tallahassee, Florida. So we must honor their lives and fight for them because they deserve the respect and their humanity to be respected and their dignity. Also, we stand in full solidarity with George Floyd. We're standing in full solidarity with Breonna Taylor as we move forward in this fight. We cannot side with the police at any time. It's just not going to happen. So we have a responsibility to echo the demands of black leadership. And I have been inspired by black radical voices in this country who are, because of the passion and the war, we are seeing the uprising and witnessing what is happening right now. So as we continue to come together, let's not forget those people, the voices that have yet to be heard. And even within our own communities, within our own family, we are leaving them behind. Undocumented LGBTQ people cannot be left behind. Sex workers cannot be left behind. Indigenous voices cannot be left behind. Poor voices, but at the end, it is Black people that will lead us to liberation. Muchísimas gracias y aquí estamos en apoyo con la comunidad. Gracias.
Give it up to the two wonderful speakers today. We have many more. Again, we are all affiliated with organizations. If you want to continue to organize, get involved, join an organization. Para la gente que habla español, asegúrese que conozca a alguien que está en una organización para que ustedes puedan organizar. Sabemos que hay mucha gente que tiene cosas que decir y queremos crear ese espacio, pero ya estamos aquí unos 40 minutos y todavía vamos a marchar. Hay agua, hay botanas, los vendedores ambulantes van a estar en el parque de César Chávez recibiendo a la gente. Yeah.
Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Say her name! Say her name! Say her name! Our next speaker is Austin with APTP.
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing out here today? Beautiful. I just want to acknowledge how absolutely amazing it is to see so many of us together in solidarity today. Can we give it up for ourselves, please? It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, wonderful. Again, yes, my name is Aston. I'm with the Anti-Police Terror Project. We've been out here, we've been doing stuff. I know that we're all tired. We got to rest up, but we're out here. The Anti-Police Terror Project is a Black-led, multiracial grassroots coalition out here trying to eradicate police terror in our communities. We strive to educate our community and our new activists. Can we please give it up for our new activists out here? We got some young folks that are out here doing the work. We want to make sure that y'all are safe doing the work. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of people doing different protests. We want to make sure that our young folks know who's doing the protests, that we know that y'all are safe, and that y'all have the resources to do it. Yes. Awesome. ABTP is also fighting and supporting families to fight for their rights. We know there's lots of families out here hurting, that are triggered. There's a lot of stuff going on. We want to make sure that they are also supported, that we are uplifting them, that we are not forgetting about them. We also have lots of different workshops. We have trainings. We have Mental Health First. MH First is one of our programs that we have. Absolutely amazing. So we don't have to call the pigs. We're hanging out right over there. We ain't got to call them. We can call our community. They can be here. We can support. And that's what we want, right? Beautiful. We have lots of trainings. We have lots of different things. We have medic training, different things like that. We also have a general meeting coming up. If y'all do not follow us, please follow us on Anti-Police Terror Project Sacramento on Facebook, APTP SAC on Instagram. We need y'all. We love y'all. We support y'all. We're out. Thank you.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido
Jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
All right, our next speaker is Ana Maria with Las Madrinas, who offer a lot of services to our unhoused mothers.
How y'all doing? Thank you for coming out. All these beautiful black and brown faces, and white people too. Okay, the Goblin of NorCal, Las Madrinas believes that Black Lives Matter. Black and brown, shut it down. We support families in our local communities that are in the most need, unhoused, housing insecure, undocumented, and in great financial need. We help families across all races, but because of a long history in the USA of financial injustice, social inequity, and unequal treatment under the law, we provide assistance to many black and brown children. These are often the children most at risk in our communities. Each child deserves a celebratory welcome to the world. Each child deserves a safe place to sleep. Each child deserves formula security and or breastfeeding support. Each child deserves enough diapers and wipes to be changed whenever they are wet or soiled. Each child deserves well-fitting clothes in good condition. Each child deserves books to read and toys to play with. Each child, and especially every black and brown child, deserves to grow up without the fear of being brutalized by cops. Each child deserves parents who can focus on them when they are together and not be consumed with worry, whether they are going to get diapers, formula, or other essential items, or how they are going to keep their children safe. The truth of the world we live in is that many children do not have all these things. The reality is that many more black and brown children lack these things than other children. We are a small group of volunteers, grassroots baby, with a passion for helping to make things a little better for our families. Making the world a little more just for the children of today who will be the leaders of tomorrow. In the words of his little girl, George Floyd is changing the world. The godmothers of NorCal, Las Madrinas, joined Black Lives Matter, countless other organizations, and millions of people around the globe in calling for justice for the officers who murdered George Floyd, and for changes to long-standing systems of oppression of black and brown people. Our members are protesting, marching, petitioning, and raising awareness. We also continue the daily work of caring for the critical needs of the families we serve. We do this work because Black Lives Matter.
Please give it up for Ana Maria. So right now we're honored to present Albert. He's a Miwok elder. I think we caught him by surprise. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
Kuchi, Majuxis, Kaniasis, Albert Titman. I've lost my voice, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. Just want to say, Wile Matakmo, which means from my heart to your heart, that I get this opportunity to stand up here and speak. And I didn't know I was going to speak today. It caught me by surprise, but you put a microphone in my hand, especially for a cause like this cause, as special as it is to me. I have some things to say. The first thing I want to say is that my tribal heritage is Nishanan, Miwok, Maidu, and Pit River, and my mother is descended from what they call Mexico today. But we know better than that. And so as we stand here today, we stand on the land of my ancestors, like the place where this park sits. We're the people surrounded by the river system, so we're river people, we're lake people, and we understand far too long about the history of genocide. We understand that, we know that, we stand in resistance. For generations, my relatives have stood alone in many cases and stood against oppression, stood against laws generated to keep us oppressed, suppressed, and killed us off. They put us on reservations and rancherias in hopes that we would die, in hopes that we would fade away, in hopes that we would no longer exist. They stripped of all our languages. They tried to take our language. They tried to take our prayer. They tried to take our smudge. They tried to take all these things from us, our rights to be human beings. And here we stand again, today, standing with our black brothers, standing with our Latino brothers, our brown brothers. I'm brown. You know, they try to divide us by color. They said, you're black, you're brown, but we know the truth about who we are. We know who we are. I'm Miwok. I'm proud. And so today, I stand with Black Lives Matter because my grandbabies are black. So my grandbabies are black, I'm black. My grandbabies are Latino, Latinx. I'm Latinx, that makes me brown. I'm native, I'm indigenous to this land, right here where we stand on. So Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! I would sing you a song, but my voice is gone. Oh, thank you.
Give it up for our elders from our Native community. So now we're going to be getting ready to march. So give us a couple of minutes, stand tight. We're going to have Ruth give you a couple of chants, and then we're going to get moving.
Black and brown! Oh, that was weak. Come on. Black and brown! Black and brown! Black and brown! Black and brown! Say his name!
George Floyd!
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 Say her name!
Breonna Taylor!
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 ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¿Se puede o no se puede? ¡Sí se puede!
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 Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Black Lives Matter!
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 Give it up for Ruth chanting. All right, so now we're going to have fun.
So we have people who are going to be leading chants. There has been a lot of division and people splitting up, and the only way that we can protect each other is if we stay together. So we're going to make sure that there is black leadership, right? Recognize that we are here for Black Lives Matter and to free the kids, right? Free the kids. Abolish ICE, abolish police, abolish the privatization of healthcare, healthcare for all, quality education for our children, clean water to drink, quality healthy foods. That is why we are out here, demanding that we all have the right to live a life in dignity. Ahora estamos aquí para ver liderazgo de nuestra comunidad afroamericana. Ellos van a dar las consignas, vamos a apoyarlos y no se nos olvide que hoy estamos aquí porque Black Lives Matter, ¿verdad? Porque todos merecemos de tener el derecho a vivir una vida digna, para tomar agua limpia, para aseguranza médica para todos, para comida que sea sana, que no tenga genéticos, para la educación de nuestros hijos que sea de calidad, para viviendas, cuánta gente no vive en las calles ahorita, y para que dejen a todos los niños que están en detenciones de inmigración libres. We're trying to get the folks that are going to be leading the chant so you guys can see who they are. Let me see where they are.
So in the meantime, let's give thanks to Mark Medina for translating in sign language, interpreting. Thank you. We're building an inclusive movement. A movement that thinks about everybody, where we think of each other, we heal each other. Have you met someone yet? Have you talked to your neighbor? All right, we'll get ready to march. We're gonna get started. Oh, and folks, very important, we know that we're all about police
abolishing them. Sorry, I was thinking in Spanish and that came out backwards. So, because we know that they're out there, please make sure that you write NLG's number on your arm if possible. And if you need a pen or a marker, just let me know because I have permanent Sharpie markers. The number is 916. No, the first part, 500. Okay, 916-500-4NLG. 916-500-4NLG. All right, so we're gonna start directing ourselves to T Street, heading towards 8th Street. And we're gonna stay behind the danzantes that we had open up with the blessing. Okay, so please start heading towards the street right now. Make sure you find a buddy to be with. You should never be alone. Stay safe.
This crowd has grown considerably as its time has gone on here.
Always yelling on the fucking dead ass. I guess I shouldn't be wearing my glasses. Even if this is great. Yeah, so you're
Gotta get some hydraulics on that guy. Can't be a black and brown protest without a lowrider. Can't be a black and brown protest without a lowrider. So this march is supposed to start heading towards Cesar Chavez now. They are gathering here, and the Dasante group will be in the front as they make this procession. We have law enforcement that will be blocking the way, but this is by no means sort of co-opted by law enforcement or involving them. You see lots of signs that talk about abolishing the police or defunding the police, and the police, their Police Anti-Terror League, I think that's the name of the group, is one of the sponsors. NorCal Resist and several other organizations are behind this march and protest here. Earlier you saw a dance group performance. You saw several speeches, including 2 trans women that spoke, and several other organizations, and a chance getting them ready to start this march. And as I mentioned earlier, the initial protest may have been largely black, but it's become very multicultural at this point, and this one here is emphasizing brown people. So this march is just getting underway. You see they've got brown beret people providing defense for this movement here. How many people you got following you now? About 6 million? Who knows? You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. So you've got several different freelance media groups here following there. There you got the Black Zebra. You got, I don't know who these guys are with, but not a lot of mainstream media here all the time. The mainstream media has been following this, but we don't see them at this point here.
If media could stay in front of the people with yellow bandanas, that would be helpful.
Speed up, guys. You gotta speed up. Keep the buffer. Keep the buffer. We're traveling down 8th Street in downtown Sacramento. We are just passing our street. This is a black and brown protest that is trying to unify various forces for racial equality and for specific changes to police procedures and rules aimed to decrease death. This is a continuation of what we've seen across the country, across the world, across the region, as more and more groups, both in big cities and small, stand up and demand racial equality in America and some changes in our system. This is a black and brown group. They're heading from Southside Park to Cesar Chavez, and probably 500 people. I'm going to stop at a certain point here and let the crowd pass by so you can get a understanding of the scope and size of this crowd. I can't charge my phone while I have the gimbal on like I do now, so we'll probably go down in a little while here. But if you're looking for a live feed, Black Zebra Productions is up, and I expect that they will continue. Thank you for all of my Patreon supporters that have backed me in this effort to try to do a little independent journalism and to help cover what's happening out here. I don't have the list of all the new supporters, but Fawn was one of them there that added today, and I'll make sure I get some thanks into him and the other people that have supported me through Patreon and allowing me to do some independent journalism, trying to bring you some of this action live, but also my commentary and thoughts and analysis on what I think is happening, what we're seeing out here. All right, so I'm going to chill here and let the crowd walk by, give you a chance to see the size of this crowd and the scope of the people that are out here. Black and brown protests, mostly a lot of Hispanic people, Native Americans, came out to speak. You got some sage burning here. It really smells festive. Are you counting these people? Give me a count when we get done here.
You have a card on you? You got a way to get a hold of you? Take the job if you got anything. This is the guy from the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
I wasn't even thinking, brother. You know, I'm all fucked up. You know what I mean? See you down here. So wonderful to see you, brother.
You gotta aim it at something. We got a live video going there.
Oh, shit. Let me look at that. Oh, look at that. Now, how many employees does the Bee have? 700 now?
Now?
Oh, no, a lot less.
42, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was 700 from 1,300.
Oh, I don't know. No, it's got to be smaller than that.
Oh, shit.
You need somebody to open the door and close the door.
Oh, shit.
I used to work there.
How do you see this thing evolving nationwide? The police and
Black Lives Matter? Or
all of it.
I think there's going to be concessions all around the board. I think there's going to be California's going to do something. New York's going to do something. Anybody who wants to have a future is going to pass something. The Democrats will pass something. Republicans won't pass it, and they're going to hang their head over it in the election. And the Democrats are going to take the Senate, and that's what I see happening. The biggest rebuke of Donald Trump, and the pendulum swings back.
Yeah, it's going to come back.
Ed, I've been looking for you for a year. Ever since you took off.
We're going to get elected again.
I
don't think so.
It's gonna be. That's what I fear the most, is that it's close and he tries to steal it, and then the people take to the streets, and
then it's going to be ugly.
But I think the generals have already signaled that they're going to stand down when he starts ordering the army.
Thank goodness for that.
Well, I mean, the military is very multicultural, isn't it?
And you've got all of the previous generals telling the current generals that this is not a valid order, and this is not the way the military behaves, and we're slipping into. You want to say something on camera? You want to say something on camera?
I'm happy as hell to see you, Ed Fletcher.
Robin Ware?
I'm happy as hell to see you.
Tell us about what you're doing here. Why are you here?
I'm with my very, very good friend, Bill Glasser, and his two daughters, Paloma and Sonia, who lives in Mexico. His daughter lives in another city in California, and another lady he's with, his ex, beautiful wife, Elizabeth Mard, and I love them. And they invited me over to the house today for a lunch. I couldn't believe it. Way out there off of Garfield and Farrows. And they hadn't planned to come to this march, and they came. Bill's Jewish. They're all white, and I mean it's a miracle. and it's just beautiful.
What do you see happening out here?
I see a massive consciousness in America taking place that wouldn't have happened in my life, in my earlier periods. This is black. I've been hoping for the black and brown people, or the brown people, to get together themselves, but it never happened. The La Raza, the Galleria Posada, I forget the Mexican place on 21st Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but this has brought us together. Unforeseen, unknowable.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen. The earth has its own mind, its own soul, and it moves in ways that we can't understand. We only can glimpse at moments in time. So this is beautiful. And to see this multicultural shit, I never thought it would happen. I never thought it would happen. They recognize we're all one.
Yeah.
Human beings. What affects one impacts the other. Dr. King, right?
Right.
And it's wonderful seeing you, brother.
Great to see you as well.
Wonderful seeing you. And 38th in Chicago, Jack Oman, right? That's where the shit took place, Floyd, and Jack Oman put it in his cartoon.
Oh, I need to see that.
Well, he lived in Minneapolis.
Oh.
And on that street, 38th in Chicago, where they murdered him, or where the police station was, he was there on that corner.
Wow.
Jack Oman, the cartoonist.
Wow. I gotta check in with him.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'll be calling you too.
All right. Nice talking to you.
You know, Bill Glasser is language world, language fluency.
Oh.
And I was talking to Sam Stanton, who wanted to write an article on his business. Yeah. I'll be in touch.
All right. Okay. So now we're getting to the end of this protest, heading towards the Capitol. I wasn't paying attention to that whole time, but I'm gonna be. I think this is north of 1,000, and I would be interested to see if there's any sort of official estimate. They are winding their way down towards Cesar Chavez. Hi. Would you mind? Do you want to talk about why you're here? Okay.
No justice! No justice! No peace!
All right, we're gonna shut it down just a second here. This is Ed Fletcher with doing a little independent journalism, trying to show people what's going on out here. This is advertised as a brown and black protest in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Probably 1,000 or more people of multi-racial origins joining together to demand a change in the way America treats black and brown people. Beautiful to see, and exciting to see how this plays out. We've seen both at the local, state, and national level movement towards changing policies and abolishing chokeholds and some questionable tactics within law enforcement. And that's all encouraging as far as I can see. It's not quite sure how this plays out and how the protests end, but for now they seem to be growing both in size and in diversity and scope. Like I said earlier, I need to shut it down here because I can't charge the battery while we've got the gimbal on, but I appreciate everybody checking this out. More than likely, Black Zero Productions is live right now, so check that out for another view of what's going on. If you can't get out of your house to participate in the protest, please find some way to activate yourself and to support this movement, whether that's engaging in conversation or action. Thanks for what you're doing, and continue to have these uncomfortable conversations. I'm Ed Fletcher. I'm on Twitter at NewsFletch, on Instagram at PerpetualF, and on Facebook at Ed Fletcher. I'm also doing Patreon if you want to support me there. I appreciate that, and thanks again.